We're currently at the Shepparton High Rate Anaerobic Lagoon, standing right behind us here. And the project we've got on at the moment is to replace the cover. So this lagoon was built probably about 15 years ago. The lagoon cover started to deteriorate, started to age, and routine testing of the cover indicated that it was starting to deteriorate. So back in about 2016, we started this project looking at how do we actually replace the cover. There was a few years of investigations, pulling together the specifications, and just looking at how we were going to do the project. The cover's about 5 hectares in area. The concrete edge beam, which holds the cover down, about 1 kilometre in length. The lagoon holds about 200 megalitres of water, and we weren't sure how much sludge and scum could be in there. So there are a couple of unknowns, and in planning the project, one of our priorities was to minimise the amount of time the cover was off. So to facilitate the project, we opted to actually put in a new concrete edge beam around 3 sides of it, rather than waiting to take the cover off and try and repair the concrete. We tried doing some sludge surveys. They were a bit inconclusive, and so as part of our contract we had a provision for sludge removal. Once we ascertained that there was sludge to be removed, we could get that happening without any further delays. So the project's at a point now where we've removed 1,200 tonnes of dry sludge. We've replaced the concrete edge beam where we planned to, and we've repaired the concrete edge beam for the last quarter of the edge beam. Got some gas pipe work sitting here beside us, which has now been repaired. Got a works platform out beside us here, which is now ready to go. And the next step is actually to start installing the new cover. So hopefully in the next few days, we'll start to see the new cover go on. At this stage, our program is that we'll have a cover over the reaction zone of our lagoon. That should be in place hopefully in November some stage. That'll be about 1/3 of the cover, and then the latter 2/3 of the cover we hope to have completed by March 2020. Our hope is that with the reaction zone covered, that's where a fair amount of the methane, the gas, and probably the odours as well comes from. So hopefully we'll start to see some subsidence from the odours occur once we've got the reaction zone cover back on. In terms of the odours, as I mentioned earlier, part of the planning in this was how do we actually minimise the time that the cover was off. We've also had some misting occurring. That works some days, and some days the wind comes from all directions and perhaps isn't as effective as we would like. Just recently brought in 2 frost fans to move the air around, particularly at night, and try and avoid the temperature inversions. It's not just me who's working on the project, it's been a real team effort from GVW. We've had operations involved, we've had our planning people, and a particular note on this project, we've had a fair amount of input from our communications team to assist us trying to get the messages out, and also take calls and relay information to the community when we do have those poor events where we do have a bit of odour floating around. I do apologise for the odour. On a job of this scale, we're doing what we can do, but the options are challenged at times. I would like to note that yes, I empathise with the community who is suffering from the odours events. I actually live myself about 3 kilometres from the site, so when we do get those bad odour days, if the wind's blowing in the right direction, it's not just the community, but I'm also affected, so I can certainly empathise with the community on that one. And once again, we do apologise for that. But yeah, all going well. Hopefully we should get the cover coming on fairly shortly.